The film begins with Yelena, who works as a secret agent for CIA officer Valentina. Despite her job, Yelena finds no purpose in life. She feels like she is living in a void, in a world filled only with darkness. This emptiness stems from the loss of her sister, a sorrow she carries deeply. Meanwhile, Valentina appears at a press conference where she is accused of conducting illegal experiments to turn humans into superhumans. In her defense, Valentina claims she is only trying to save the world, as the Avengers will not come to help anymore. Court orders an investigation into all institutions under Valentina before deciding her punishment or innocence. Yelena is then seen in a research center in Malaysia. She is there to destroy evidence against Valentina. Secret agents have already destroyed most of Valentina's labs, and this one is the last. Yelena intimidates the scientist so much that he commits suicide. She then blows up the building using a remote-controlled bomb and completes her mission. Through the mission, Yelena visits her stepfather Alexei and talks about her sad life. Alexei advises her to take on missions that have a clear purpose and benefit others, missions where her work is appreciated. Yelena likes his suggestion and tells her boss that she no longer wants to do secret missions. She wants to work publicly. Her boss agrees, but under one condition. She must complete one final secret mission. Yelena is given the address of a secret vault. Inside it, an agent named Ava Starr, who has the power to disappear, is stealing confidential research. Yelena must stop and eliminate her. She accepts the mission and quickly arrives near the vault. Inside the vault, Yelena doesn't find Ava, but a man named John attacks her. Just then, a third agent arrives and attacks John. Ava also appears and kills the third agent. Yelena is briefly confused by the chaos. Then a frightened boy, Bob, appears and all the vault's doors close. Yelena realizes Valentina has betrayed them. By using these agents, Valentina has erased all evidence against her and now wants them dead, as they know her truth. Yelena tells the other agents about Valentina's conspiracy, warning them that they are being manipulated into killing each other. John, Yelena, and Bob become trapped inside the vault. Ava, the ghost-like agent, tries to escape but finds herself locked in due to soundwave circuits. Meanwhile, Valentina orders the vault to be destroyed. Inside, the team looks for the sound barrier battery to help Ava escape. Valentina activates a time bomb, but luckily, the team deactivates it by finding the battery in time. Ava opens the door and saves the others as well. When Valentina learns they survived, she orders their deaths. She sees Bob on CCTV. Unaware of who he is, she instructs her assistant to find information about him and sends other secret agents to kill them. Unknown to Valentina, her driver at the time is Alexei, Yelena's father, who now knows her entire plan and the vault's location. Inside the vault, John asks Bob what he is doing there. Bob says he remembers nothing except donating blood for a medical study, after which he regained consciousness in front of them. John suspects Bob is lying and tries to kill him. Yelena stops the fight and insists that they must work together as a team if they want to survive and escape. While trying to escape, John breaks through a wall to create a path to the elevator. However, the elevator remains shut due to an overload. He suggests that they can climb upward by linking their backs together. Meanwhile, Valentina discovers that Bob is the subject of one of her own experiments. She remembers that all test subjects were believed to be dead. Realizing that one experiment succeeded on Bob shocks her, and she heads toward the vault herself. Team climbs up using the elevator shaft and sees from above that Valentina's agents have already arrived to capture them. Valentina has instructed her team to capture all 4 of them alive. The group blasts a small hole near the gate and hides inside a vault. Inside, Yelena warns Bob to stay close if he wants to survive. Bob appears deeply troubled and tells Yelena he feels all of this is punishment for something wrong he once did. Yelena comforts him, saying everyone has endured or done something painful in life. As they speak, enemies break into the vault, and the sound of gunfire erupts. Outside, they discover that John has already taken down all the incoming attackers. Valentina sends in another group, but Yelena, a skilled fighter, protects Bob and defeats the attackers. John arrives to join them. To escape, Yelena and the others disguise themselves in Valentina's team uniforms and manage to exit the vault. Just as they try to leave in a car, a guard stops them. A confrontation starts between John and the guard. Bob steps out of the car, grabs a gun, and fires into the air to draw attention. He attempts to speak, but the guards view him as a threat and open fire. Despite Valentina's attempt to stop them, wanting to see how far her experiment had succeeded, Bob is shot multiple times. Yelena and John feel sorrow at witnessing Bob's fall. They seize the moment and escape. Meanwhile, Bob is shown to be still alive, even after being hit by countless bullets. His wounds heal instantly. As the soldiers shoot at him again, Bob blasts into the air like a rocket, floating among the clouds. He pauses in deep thought before suddenly fainting. Due to gravity, he falls rapidly and crashes near Yelena and John's car, flipping it over. Yelena, John, and Ava are stunned by Bob's powers. John reveals that Bob is the result of Yelena's own superhuman experiment, which is what led him to the vault to destroy the related evidence. The revelation shocks everyone. By morning, Valentina instructs her assistant to capture Bob alive and orders the elimination of the other 3 agents. Alexei also arrives, surprising Yelena. He explains that he overheard Valentina's plan to kill them and learned about the vault from her words. Knowing their lives were in danger, he came to warn them. As they prepare to leave in Alexei's car, Valentina's team ambushes them with heavy gunfire. John tries to protect everyone with his shield, but it fails. Just when they seem doomed, a mysterious hero appears and opens fire on Valentina's vehicles, destroying them. The scene shifts to Valentina and Bob inside a watchtower. Bob is visibly disturbed by his situation and grows more terrified upon seeing Valentina. He accuses her harshly. Valentina tries to calm him, saying she has given his boring, worthless life a powerful new purpose. Now, he holds the strength of more than 100 humans and can achieve anything. While speaking, Valentina touches Bob's hand. Instantly, she is pulled into a dark void, a shadowy world of her mind, where she relives a terrifying childhood memory of her father being shot dead by enemies. She pulls her hand back and immediately orders her assistant to organize a press conference. Elsewhere, the man who helped the 4 earlier is now seen holding them captive. He informs them that they must testify against Valentina. The group agrees but insists that they must first be released. They explain that stopping Valentina and exposing all her experiments is far more urgent. The group explains how Bob became extremely powerful through an experiment, but the man they're speaking to still does not believe them. Just then, he receives a call from Valentina's assistant, who informs him that Valentina is about to hold a press conference featuring Bob. Realizing that Valentina may have created something dangerously powerful, he turns to the group and asks if they will help him stop Valentina and Bob. The man's name is Buggy. Yelena tells Buggy that they are not good people like him and questions how they could do such a task. Buggy replies that he used to be just like them. He made many mistakes too, but he started over and chose to do good. He encourages them to join him, saying that with his help they could live with pride again. Inspired, everyone agrees to help him. Meanwhile, Valentina is shown training Bob, teaching him how to control everything with both his mind and physical strength. At the same time, the group arrives at Valentina's watchtower to confront her. They fight her guards before hearing Valentina's voice through a speaker inviting them upstairs, saying she's been waiting for them. Upstairs, Valentina presents Bob, now wearing a uniform, and announces that he has the power of more than 10 Avengers. She reveals that she has named him Sentry and has welcomed them all just before her press conference, where Sentry will demonstrate his powers by fighting them. She believes that once the public sees his strength, all allegations and bans against her will be dismissed. Yelena finds this deeply wrong and tries to convince Bob not to participate. Instead, he tries to persuade her to join Valentina's team. This angers Alexei, who attacks Sentry, but a light push from Sentry sends Alexei flying into a wall. The entire group attacks together, but Sentry easily stops and defeats them with a single motion of his hand. Realizing they stand no chance against him, Yelena and the others decide to retreat to preserve their strength. Valentina then orders Sentry to hunt them down and kill them. However, Sentry refuses. He tells her that those people are not strong enough to be a threat, and that he will not act on her command. If Valentina wants them dead, it's her problem, not his. Downstairs, Yelena feels defeated and calls everyone losers before walking away. Saddened by her words, the others quietly leave. Alexei goes after her to console her. Back at the top, Sentry, now consumed by his immense power, begins to see himself as a god. Valentina realizes he is becoming a danger. She attempts to kill him using a kill switch, but Sentry senses her plan and grabs her throat, causing the switch to fall from her hand. Just before she is strangled to death, Valentina's assistant rushes in and activates the kill switch. Sentry suddenly vanishes, not dead but transported into the void, a shadowy dimension filled with negativity. His existence becomes like that of a shadow. He ascends into the sky, and when guards fire at him, he turns them into shadows with a simple gesture. A helicopter arrives with attack attackers, but he does the same to them, crashing the helicopter to the ground. As the helicopter crashes into a building, the structure begins to collapse, endangering the lives of innocent people below. Yelena and her group rush to rescue the civilians, removing large walls and clearing debris. Their heroic efforts earn them respect and applause from the people, creating a sense of fulfillment among the team. However, the relief is short-lived. Sentry begins turning people into shadows using his powers and starts spreading darkness and negativity. Yelena, understanding that Sentry cannot be stopped easily, surrenders herself to the void, willingly becoming a shadow. Alexei, overwhelmed by grief, decides to follow her. Inside the dark dimension, Yelena's consciousness takes her to painful memory, her first experience of being responsible for a child's death. She struggles to escape it, only to fall into another traumatic memory. While searching for Bob, she finally sees him within a memory. Yelena speaks to Bob, urging him to stop everything. Bob responds that it's not truly him, but the negativity born from his loneliness. Yelena witnesses Bob's painful childhood, where his father treated him cruelly. Moved by his suffering, she holds Bob's hand. Just as they are about to reconnect, the surrounding negativity begins attacking them. Before they are consumed, the rest of their team arrives, having fought through their own past traumas. Together, they decide that they must bring Bob back from the void by fighting his darkest memories. Yelena and Bob agree. They journey through Bob's memories and eventually reach the moment of experimentation in Valentina's lab. There, they do not see Bob on the table but the embodiment of the void, the negative version of Bob. Bob chooses to fight this entity, losing control and attacking it violently, not realizing he himself is slowly becoming a part of the void. Before he is fully consumed, Yelena breaks free and grabs him, reminding him that he is not alone. The others also reach out, pulling Bob out of the darkness. They promise to always be by his side. Once Bob realizes he is no longer alone, the negativity within him begins to fade, and the void starts to disappear. As the darkness retreats, light returns to the world. People who had turned into shadows become human again. Interestingly, due to Bob's memory loss condition, he forgets everything that happened. Now reunited, the team decides to confront Valentina. They find her standing behind a curtain. As Yelena moves to stop her, she discovers a live press conference. Valentina introduces the team as the new Avengers and claims all allegations against her were false. She announces that she has worked on this project for years. Yelena sees through her manipulation but whispers a warning in Valentina's ear. Still, she feels relieved, knowing she will finally receive credit for her missions and the people's love. In the post-credits scene, the team receives an alert through a satellite about a new global threat, hinting that their battles are far from over. And with that, the movie ends.